was a fun little trip into an alternate dimension, but hey, we got to get into Caer Siorai already. The entire game has been building up to this. It's like, and now we're finally here. No longer stopped by a big drawbridge.
As they say, life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal.
Right, well, it's certainly in this game. Although, really, it's just like, it's almost... Well, we see what happens to immortal people in the last episode. They get snatched away by Thalamus and tortured for eternity. Poor souls.
Oh, I see. Oh, so that's the problem in this universe, is not so much that there's immortality, but there's immortality and then there's also hell. Like, you can't really...
Yeah, it's like the thing is, by not dying, you go to hell.
Uh-huh.
That's the true irony of the Death's Gambit universe.
I see. So Death's Gambit is literally death. This gambit of hiring you to end immortality because, look...
To bring death... Well, okay, death is still like a thing in the world, but obviously the big goal of Alduin, the big goal of Thalamus is to bring immortality around more so that he has more souls to harvest, basically.
Wasn't that your horse earlier in the game? Or am I misremembering?
Okay, the funny thing is, actually, no, my horse is it's like blue. However, after you beat the game, you do get you can choose to get an armored horse, which looks like that. Those.
Okay.
Those are just kind of like generic enemies. Speaking of generic enemies, hey, look, the pelagic horrors from Thalamus Realm are now just kind of hanging out in here. Yeah, okay, wow. I think we get it. Like, Thalamus is definitely all over the place here.
Uh-huh.
Dude is very much intertwined in the history of Caer Siorai.
Uh-huh.
Additionally, it's just like, yeah, for the most part, this is actually like a very... Again... How many times do I need to fight Evil Soren here? This is actually like a dagger version of it. And we're finally getting the assassin build being shown off here, which is, of course, seemingly kind of weak. It barely took off any damage compared to like the Great Hammer one from earlier in the game. Well, they said that assassin build is supposed to be for true experts, after all. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Are you the gamer god?
I am. Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay.
It's just like, look, I made usage out of a build that, even the AI struggles with.
even the devs said that this was too hard, but they kept it.
And here we are.
Anyway.
By the way, that is just like, hey, you remember like earlier in the game how they were trying to get like how one of the plans was like to bulk up the Alduinian army by what is it, getting the Gaians kind of on their side. Well, apparently they do have at least a couple of them, not as large as the Forgotten Gaian that we saw earlier, but definitely like those are. That's the exact moveset of like the Forgotten Gaian and everything. It's just like as a mini boss character.
By the way, I gotta say, like, if you're going to do like the gamer god thing, like the hubris thing, the best thing you can be doing while you're saying that is be sailing like along a ceiling, like just double jumping continually across the ceiling. Like that's just the perfect.
Oh yeah, just like go fully like backwards long jumping my way through the game.
Yeah,
I'm not that good.
You're literally gaming Icarus.
Literal. I mean, I feel like I get some. I mean, God knows it's always the Dead Cells stuff, where it's just like, I play every game like Dead Cells, and that includes this, where I just kind of run in and start attacking everything, but somehow it works. That's where the gamer god part comes in.
Uh-huh.
The other thing is that I think it's just at this point in the game, after going through Yulnath, that you start to encounter a lot more of those like elite. I guess you could call them regular enemies. They got that purple glow around them. Deal a lot more damage, take a lot more damage, exactly what you'd expect.
But it doesn't matter to you because you're a gamer god.
No, absolutely not. I think the real reason they do that is mostly so that, because they often drop, like they really often drop soul stones for upgrade stuff. So
Now, did you have that map before you got that that dream shift?
No, no, yeah, I did have the map, but
Okay,
I didn't have like the dream shift though.
Oh yeah,
Thalamus party gift. For he definitely died in the last episode. Oh, absolutely. We beat him with the power of friendship, and we'll never see him again.
Yep.
Never ever.
To quote All Saints.
Never ever. I keep struggling to get the crystal lizards. I've missed like 4 so far. I went and got them off screen, but it's just like, yeah. This is the point in time where, yeah, you just start getting like a lot of upgrade items, which is good because that means that you can actually start like not fully upgrading. You need like 32 immortalized stone to get a proper +10 thing, but it's like you can at least get everything up to like +7, +8.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's putting weird portals that shoot out stuff here? Yes, the Phoenix. Yeah, you remember last time how I said that that the heroic version of the Phoenix was originally like a story boss?
Oh.
Well, that's why we're suddenly getting this tome appearing in here. Because normally you would fight her again at this point, but instead they actually switched up quite a few things in Caer Siorai. There's also like another in the original version of the game. There was also like another one of the dead Gaians. I mean, like I was talking about the Forgotten Gaian earlier. You can find like you found another Gaian who was like in here and gave you like lore information. You can actually talk to him, but they took that out, I guess because it doesn't really jive with the new lore that they were doing or something. I don't know.
This definitely feels like the Anor Orlando of this game.
Oh, absolutely. Although this is like actually, you know, the final goal here, unlike Orlando in Dark Souls, where it's just
I
like
believe
the
that Dark Souls
point.
ended with Anor Orlando.
I mean, they had good ideas. It's just, you know, to say it was badly executed is putting it simply. It's just like straight up, a lot of those areas just weren't done.
It's weird because like I actually didn't remember that there was a lot of stuff after Anor Orlando until you mentioned it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. There were all these areas that
don't you
didn't really
remember
work.
Dragon Butt Island?
Oh yeah, and Izalith, of course, that famous
yeah,
Dark Souls thing
and
that
the rest of Izalith was not like much better. I mean, obviously it looked great, but it was just like, oh my god, the parts that were done looked great,
Yeah,
but the parts that weren't were just horrendous.
it was a classic ending of Halo. Oh, or not Halo, Half-Life. The original Half-Life,
Zen. I don't know. I feel like Zen was
Yes.
at least they had more of an idea of what they were doing with that.
That was
comparatively.
yeah. That wasn't terrible, but yeah. I mean, none of these things were terrible. They're just, it's like, okay, you know, this is the you're listening to this smiley smile version of this part.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. It's first-person shooting. First-person shooters really it took a while to learn that they shouldn't be putting bosses and platforming are something that like as a genre has always struggled with.
Yeah.
I think Zen really showed that off there in the best light possible.
Yes.
All right, cool. I can't equip like any good shields though because I'm using a dex build, baby. And so it's all about dodging around. Also, man, they really put a lot of like random goodies to collect there, just kind of on the side. I remember seeing the one ledge there, but I was surprised they were like, oh, there's actually like 4 more ledges above it that also have stuff on it. Caer Siorai just there we go. Okay, so I did at least get that one. Caer Siorai very much into just airing out all of their valuables. I got like a pie on a windowsill. Within the hungry Soren just comes over there and gobbles them all up. Maybe we shouldn't have done a second episode today.
Don't eat that pie. No.
Don't eat that pie, Soren Galbraith. By the way, his last name is Galbraith. I don't know if that's actually come up in the story.
Oh wow, that's such an. That's I don't know why you would give people last names unless you really had a good reason. Soren is just fine.
I mean, yeah, it's not like Vrail. I guess Ione is Eku, but I don't think Vrail has a last name. Vrail's just Vrail.
Yeah. Well, Vrail's dead, so.
Oh yeah, Vrail's also like hyper dead too. So I guess it doesn't matter too much. Like I said, originally I mean, you could almost see it like maybe a mini boss fight, even though you can just kind of run around them after they get possessed by Thalamus in Caer Siorai. But now it's just, yeah, now they're just dead. I guess that's part of the whole, like, hey, we changed up a little bit of how Caer Siorai worked with the new content here. So, decided to go in a different direction.
Yeah, it's kind of like it is weird, like to see like main characters being dead without like a major cutscene explaining that, like showing them dying.
They tried to fight Endless, which, I mean, to be fair, I died as well. I'm just immortal. Take that, nerdlingers. And Vrail spent so much time making fun of me for being immortal. Well, now who's right?
It's ironic. He was mortal and then he died.
I mean, to be fair, though, it's just like, I think most other people that would go up against Endless if they were immortal would just still be trapped in Yulnath, but, you know. You know what I'm talking about.
So basically everyone that Endless kills goes to Yulnath, is that right?
Actually, Endless didn't even kill me, remember? It was, the Thalamus just kind of set a bomb on top of me and just one-shot me. Because he's a jerk like that. He thought it was really funny. He's just sitting down there in Yulnath yucking it up. Like, I got him with the bomb again. Yeah, by the way, speaking of Thalamus. Hey, I see you back there. Don't think you're being sneaky.
Oh. It would have. I don't know if I would have seen that if you hadn't pointed it out, though.
Yeah, I remember. It's a neat little detail. Kind of subtle, but it's just like, yeah, unless you really pan the camera up, it's hard to see. He's just here to watch me do the heroic boss fight. Because he thinks it's fun. He thinks it's hilarious. Well, you ready? Are you ready? Because there it is.
Your friends, your mother, your legacy.
Oh boy! All right.
So
well,
this is the end of the boss, or the end of the main game.
The end, lest I die here many times. Oh my god! Oh my god! Endless is a boss fight. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, this is. I want to say. I mean, probably hardest fight in the entire game, and absolutely the hardest heroic fight. But it's just like we'll get to that after we see the proper. Well, at least the ending of the original non-Afterlife version of Death's Gambit. Because of course, it's like, I'll let you say this: the original version of Death's Gambit was just kind of just kind of destroyed the artifact and it ended. That's it.
Wow, that seems.
And it just pushed you right into.
It's good that they added this.
Yeah, I'm very glad about that too. You definitely get like a lot more. They added a lot.
Did it feel rushed in the original game?
Yeah. Because it's like it basically is just kind of like, it's done. Well, anyway, so Endless, at least the first phase for Endless is pretty much the same one that I fought at the gate to Caer Siorai.
How many times have you died trying to reach me? Like 36.
I mean, actually, like only like 5. But
really,
with the heroic boss fights, it's a lot more. With the heroic boss fights, it's roughly like 300.
Did you do like the thing where you only did the heroic boss fights on a different save file?
No, but I mean, I just want to say that it's like, if I wasn't doing the heroic boss fights, I would just super like be able. I would definitely have gotten here with like less than 10 deaths. But it's just like, man, Endless actually like, these attacks are pretty difficult to get the timing of. She even like stalls like that attack that she's using right there to make it extra hard to dodge around. Oh
yeah, just really deceptive.
Forged by war, born and I adapted war, was molded by epic.
You were merely born into the war. I started it. Or wait.
Yes. Well, no, she didn't start it. She's just trying to end it. With
Oh
the
yeah,
whole,
well,
like, you
she's
know.
been trying to. Yeah, she's been trying to do that since the world's been created. Come on.
Yes, there.
Her life is already full.
Look, Death, I'm not giving up at this point. You don't have to worry about that.
Uh-huh.
Wait, this is like somewhat ominous phrasing.
Uh-huh.
Embrace your destiny.
Hey, are you actually Death? Are you not Thalamus?
I was gonna say, embrace your destiny. If you really look, the next group of contractors don't start for 3 weeks. I really would like you to get this done now.
Like, look, man, we lined it up so you got here during the eclipse. It's like this is pretty much ideal fight time.
Uh-huh.
If you don't mind finishing it up right now. But then again, it's just like, why would Thalamus be like end it all, considering that, you know, he wants people to be immortal. Still, though, I don't know. It's a weirdly ominous line from that there.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Thalamus. I'm doing a fight right now. Do you mind? It's like, no, I know I was getting bored and I want to taunt you a little bit more.
You all
I'm
need to know that
basically
this is
like a
useless.
heckler in a crowd.
You'd never understand.
Uh-huh.
After all, that was your conviction.
Ah.
Oh,
What?
What? I say what?
What?
Oh, wait, you banned me from doing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
I'm
can still
actually
do
not
that.
allowed to do that.
Say
Okay.
what? Oh, who could have seen that?
Yeah. You
Award
killed
for
my
most
mother.
predictable twist in any video game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 phases here. Basically, she gets aspects from 3 of the different bosses you fight: Dark Knight, Bulwark, which I'm fighting right now, and Phoenix. And it's like actually pretty difficult to do. Like, this whole thing is. They did a good job of programming the lightning strikes because it like predicts where you're going to be trying to dodge into, like with surprising accuracy. That said, she still also has all of the same abilities as usual, which is a lot of fun on top of everything else. Death, you knew about this. Why didn't you tell me? You gave me an entire speech down at Journey's End. What's up with that?
Well, I am literally deaf. Okay, so
Look, you signed the contract. We're not really on equal terms here. I can withhold information from you. Did you learn nothing from Persona 5 and how Igor did his whole thing?
betrayed by my own
Although, well, okay, in that game there is actually a stupid reason for that.
I did learn things from Persona 5, but I do feel like I got dumber overall. I get net.
Yeah, you know, unlike Persona 5, at least like Thalamus here actually is as powerful as he says he is. They don't just totally be like, no, they're actually completely talentless and devoid of all worth because they're villains. I'm not. Stop talking up Thalamus. He's an asshole. I swear. I still love that part. I love that part of the game where everybody has such ranges. Shut the fuck up, Thalamus. Oh. Yeah, this is, by the way, this is like after I hit max level and I had fought like heroic Amalvaro and heroic Council. So it's like I had a lot of stats here.
Yeah.
It's like, look, no filial relation is going to stand up to being level 150.
She's called endless on account of how long this fight takes.
Oh my god, you haven't even seen the heroic fight. It adds an entirely new phase after it, where she uses the ability
Wow.
from all 3 of these. Which actually in some ways makes it a little bit easier, because some abilities are easier to deal with than others. Not that one, though. I hate that one. Shut the fuck up, Thalamus. Like, why would I trust you? You're such an asshole.
he's going out of his way to just like chime in on things. Like
I know it's like, well, now that I've revealed myself, it's time to just basically be a heckler in the audience for the rest of the game.
There was never a moment that you were.
Oh man, I've been waiting for this for so long. I got so many one-liners to tell you. Hey, death feeds you lies to keep you complacent. Is that anything?
Nothing makes me happier.
I genuinely like Thomas is my favorite character in the game.
Yeah.
I failed you as a mother. I wish I could have spent more time with you.
Once again, what? You're my mom? What?
So are you Everly, or is Everly dead, or what? Are you the same person? Or...
Death actually explained it like way earlier on, where it's just like endless. He speculated that she was like a soul that was severed from the body, hence the immortality.
Okay.
Basically like
sense.
a ghost, a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there it is. Or
You doing that in this episode?
oh yeah, yeah. Death just like,
we've been
dude, the hell.
I expected more from some.
Oh, I thought you could destroy yourself. Oh, you don't? Well, maybe we want to renegotiate the contract right now. You have
But
maximum
yeah,
leverage.
it's just like I love that Death just chews you out if you don't immediately destroy that. It's like, hey, I got heroic fights to do, man. Look, the orb will be there. We can ponder it later.
Look, I'm on break.
Okay, so there are a couple other things before we get on to the heroic endless fight. Now that I have Dream Shift, there's 2 areas. Orange Forest, which I got for beating up the heroic version of the Phoenix, which, like I said, just leads to the original version that appeared in Caer Siorai of the heroic fight of the Phoenix. It's honestly... Yeah, this is one of those things where it's just like, they just kept this in the game because they're like, well, we did make it, so we'll put it as extra content, whatever.
I see. So is the Dream Shift thing, is that like where they, so that unlocks like some areas then, like, and this is one of them, and it's basically just a developer, like, see, this is what we did.
I mean, the description from the what is it,
back to us.
there's the orange pendant, I think, that I got from the Soul of the Phoenix or something, is that like it lets you teleport to the Orange Forest, but I had no ability to teleport until I got the Dream Shift.
Okay.
Like, that just wasn't a thing. So yeah, this one, unlike the heroic version of the Phoenix fight that we have now, is pretty much more or less the same, except she's also got the Phoenix backing her up too. Still does like the clone thing, but the clone's way weaker. Well, it's not literally a copy of herself like it is in the heroic fight that I did earlier.
What is the plume in this context?
Yeah, the Phoenix just kind of like drops plumes, and that's like, I mean, normally it's like you find those on the ground after you die. That's your blood stain run in Dark Souls, but here it also just kind of drops them occasionally because the Phoenix is molting, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, for the most part, it's just like I said, this is just like, hey, we already made this fight, so we'll put it in the game. Whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna change off the time warp plume that I got from the Grey Wanderer in the last episode. That was so good. Like I can just spam my skills because it reduces cooldown by 20 seconds whenever you use one. It's honestly really amazing. And it's like, is there a heroic version of this originally heroic fight? I guess it's kind of just more or less the same fight. So, not a ton of effort in this one. Look. Like I said, this one's just like
it's extra stuff.
Do it again. What? Hey, I mean, if you're like, hey, I want to see more of that Phoenix. Here we are. Here we go. Look, you gotta show. Look, it's part of the LPers code. You gotta show off all content, even if it's like,
So, this is the Phoenix. Okay. Now,
yeah, well,
the
that's the thing
sometimes,
above me. I still just fighting the soul. They're two of the same entity, basically.
sometimes the Phoenix will drop a plume. Does the plume in the heroic or the?
It does heal her, yes. It's like, so you kind of have to like grab it before she does, but
Okay.
like the amount of damage I'm doing, it like doesn't matter. So
Okay, I'm glad you answered that question because I did just kind of trail off and not actually ask it. So.
no, I got it. I know what you're talking about here. But it's like, hey, if you have like special stuff, like I get 20% plus 20% damage for picking up plumes, so it's like, hey, it's actually worth doing. You do get those buffs.
Is ice and or blue fire or.
Yeah, she did that in the original, not the original heroic fight. In the new heroic fight too, did the turn blue deal.
It would be really cool if they did.
Picking it up does not heal her a lot.
I was gonna say it'd be really cool is if after you meet Thelamis is always in the background after that. Just
That would
like,
actually be really interesting, but I don't know. It's like I think that would sort of like cheapen the Easter egg on top of the thing there, where it's just like, yo, are you ever gonna leave? And it's like, no, I have so many more one-liners. Because that is Thalamus. That is Thalamus's character.
Mm-hmm.
There's also this area if you continue walking instead of going into Caer, Siorai, which is just like I feel like you wouldn't want it to have seen this instead of me. Start out the episode. It's like, well, instead of going into Caer, Siorai, let's go do this instead.
I don't know how you're gonna make a game where like a big boss is the archivist. That doesn't really make sense to me.
Oh yeah, no, certainly no game has ever done anything like that before.
I know we've already referenced it. I'm just like, that's the other thing is you always got to be talking. No radio silence. That's
Right,
the LPers code.
It's also part of the LPers code. It's not, but that's how I work. Whatever. Anyway, we did actually see the archivist a little bit earlier. It was originally in Journey's End. We saw it placing down one of the tomes, which is cute. There's your like in-game explanation for why there's all these random boss tomes just kind of around here. But also, some didn't exist in the original game. The original version of like the area after Caer Siorai will actually be doing right after this.
Don't drink it. It's poison.
No, it's just maggots milk.
Okay.
What? Come on. You telling me that I ain't getting any milk here? Yes, and I do thank you for that. Cause I mean, hey, how else am I gonna get the lore to? Yes, okay, thank you. We didn't need the explanation.
That is cute.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, what do you got over here? A little bit late. Yeah. I mean, I talked about this a lot already, but it's just like, yep, that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
A good question. Bathing in the blood, making LPs, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, sure. No, not really. I'm going to stop, though. Much like LPs. Additionally, now that is an interesting upgrade.
Now
However,
we're podcasting.
dashing still uses stamina, so infinite, you get like 3. It's still something, though.
Yeah.
All right, like I said, the ice giant area, the other thing that opened up with the Dream Shift, this is what originally appeared after the entrance of Caer Siorai instead of the little archivist section. But once again, it's just like, hey, they wanted to keep it in the game, so here it is. It's this actually was originally the way that you would grind up immortalite stones in the game. Because there were only like a limited amount of them that existed, unless you did this little sequence, which you would get like one every single time. Very Shadow of the Colossus style trek upside the literal ice giant.
Yeah, with an Omicron like horse ride that lasts 20 feet.
Yeah, but at least we didn't have to kill Photo this time for it. I mean, hey, it was a mega honor to be murdered by the Nomad Soul. So I guess I said in one like a stream that I was doing on Dead Cells. It's just like, man, if I ever had like the Doc Firebird fighting game, Photo would definitely be in it. And you would fight him at Kushulane's throne. For anybody that watched that series,
Check it out.
check it out. The game
It's
was
a
terrible,
terrible
but it
game.
was still a fun playthrough.
Breathe in this air. Let it fill your lungs. Refresh your spirit.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Well, you look dissatisfied. Were you expecting another
And
fierce immortal battle?
I mean, here's the thing: the Ice Giant actually has been like you could see him in the background of the sanctuary area like the entire time.
Sometimes all you
Now
need
you can
to
finally
do
get
is
to him, and it's just kind of like, we didn't actually have a boss plan here.
take this
Yo, have you ever just like
That plume for
sat
you to
and
get back
thought
on the
about
task
things
at
for a
hand,
little
man.
while? Like that's what I'm thinking right now.
I mean, that is his whole
thing.
thing. That's how you do the. That's how you respec your build. Remember?
Oh, okay. Didn't know
And then
that.
yeah, in the original version of the game, you always got an Immortalite Stone for talking to Zuma up there every single time, which is like not the easiest. 127.
This is heroic.
Yep. Let's go, baby. 128 attempts. Oh my god. So, Endless, you say that you were sent here to die, but you persevered. I've only heard that 127 times prior to this point. All right. Well, in addition to just being like harder hitting and faster, I think he just attacks faster entirely. He also got the curse mechanic that exists down there now. So as soon as that curse runs out, basically what I'm going to need to do is block an attack with my shield. Yes, with you can see upper right corner, curse to take 1,000 damage if you don't block it. And I'm working with a dex build that dodges around things. So that was a lot of fun to figure out what I could actually block and what would work. Anyway, then we also have the same 3 phases and one final super phase. So I hope you're not using too many plumes, because you're definitely going to want to make sure that you have a lot of those for the future parts of this. I'm even willing to just like straight up tank some damage here, just so that I can super maximize my DPS, because otherwise I am 100% sure that like I would take more damage if I didn't try and do that. Curse here is that every time I roll, it puts down one of those exploding death orbs that will one-shot me, which is a lot of fun. Oh, and this is again a dex build based around rolling, so you know. That's exactly what I needed. And then I'm just like, okay, clear out the arena, otherwise I'm going to accidentally run into that anyway. Endless Fear, not even the worst. This is not the worst one. All damage dealt reduced by 70%, whatever. Like, compared to throws down super death exploding orbs that will one-shot me, I'd rather deal with that 100% of the time. Dude, like, hey, figure out how to actually, like, block an attack here in this fight? Have you seen this fight? If you block one attack, you're blocking 100 attacks. Oh my god, Endless is so... This fucking fight. And of course, the suggested fight is... the suggested level is 150, which is the maximum level that you can possibly have until you go into New Game Plus. So, you know.
Damn.
Get fucked. And then once again, I'm just like, let's clear the arena. And like, oh my god. And she just, and yeah, like I just did that to interrupt that attack, really. Because like, Jesus Christ, the sheer amount of damage that every single one of these attacks deals. And it's like here, get doubled up the amount of, yeah, here it doubles up the amount of, lightning that falls down, and the curse this time, if you're wondering, is 1,000 damage if you run out of stamina. Good luck if you're... Thankfully, here, again, it's just like I'm working with a build that does a lot of I'm working with a build that does a lot of dodging around. If you had like your shield out, running out of stamina, it's like, especially with the amount of attacks that are being thrown down here, is like a real possibility.
Now, maybe you're supposed to switch builds between like these phases of Endless.
Oh no, it's just it's just there's at least one build that is gonna just totally fuck you over.
Well, I mean, but can you switch builds like in the middle of the fight?
In the middle of the fight? No.
Okay.
Like, yeah, here we go. The curse here is maximum health reduced by 10.
That's
I
not
guess
that
they
bad.
couldn't get rid of the curse mechanic for the final phase or something.
Yeah, that sounds like okay.
But otherwise, just like, yeah, she has all the abilities that she did in all the previous phases, and I got so goddamn close to dying right there. Holy Christ. And I'm out of, and at this point in time, I am out of healing. So, like,
Wow.
this is, like, I saw this, and I'm like, oh, thank God, these fireballs don't do that much damage. Time to just, like, go all out and hopefully end this right here. Because, like, the health I have is the health I have. Fucking
Wow.
hell, that fight. And I still barely scraped by 100, like, I want to say like 3.5 hours, 127 attempts until I finally got a winning one.
Good lord.
Holy Christ, but holy shit, that is an amazing, like, you get double jump, you just naturally gain, like, mana. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to have this permanently equipped for the rest of the game.
Wow.
Well, like,
That is
yeah,
sick.
that's, by the way, I got, like, all of the legendary super equipment. I have, like, everything upgraded to plus 10, or even more than that. I'm at max level, and I barely scraped by in that fight. Oh, my God.
But you did. You're the gamer god.
That's me.